Okay, here we are Sunday sitting at JW Marriott in Palm Desert. And I've done a couple of these stories, and my cousin Pat called me and said, you need to keep doing these stories. They're great. So, and he said, you should tell the story about how you even ended up in California. So that actually was a good one. It's the winter of 1978, and there's 4 feet of snow on the ground and 20 below zero the day we left. But getting up to that was freezing cold, man. It wasn't 20 below yet, but it was 10 and 5 and 4 feet of snow. And I just got laid off or finished a job from Blow Mix. Dave O'Connor and John O'Connor's dads worked there and used to get us job in the steel mills, and would go in and do all these crazy jobs and get paid ridiculous money and then get laid off, So there was no more jobs at this point. So I come walking in the house in Bethel Park, 18 Santa Fe Drive, and Mommy and Aunt Roseanne are sitting at the kitchen table, and Aunt Roseanne's trying to talk my mom into going to California with her, because my aunt comes every year because she got bad arthritis and she got a mobile home in Rancho, Mirage. But my mom is deathly afraid of flying. She cannot handle that at all, She's deathly afraid of doing a lot of shit. But so I hear him, and I'm not doing nothing, and it's 20 below zero out and 4 feet of snow. So I go, hey, I'll drive you guys, because I like hanging out with them. My buddies would always say, hey man, we're going out here to go to this place and go to this place and do that. And I go, well, I'll meet you like after 10 o'clock because I'm going to go play bingo with my mom and Aunt Roseanne. And they go, you're crazy, dude. I go, no, you're crazy, man. That shit is fun with them. So we go, okay. And we set a day to go. It's like Sunday, December 25th or 6th or 8th or something. And it might actually been like the 14th or 15th. We could have been before Christmas, maybe. I'm not sure. So, but what it was the AFC Championship game, Steelers against Houston, in that freezing cold ice rain that was so famous. So I told Aunt Roseanne, that's the day you want to go that day? I go, that's the AFC Championship game. She goes, well, you don't have to come with us, but me and your mom are leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning that Sunday. I said, okay. I was upset, but I said, okay. And then, so she gets there about 7:30 to our house. She drove from Regent Square. Took her probably 3 hours to get there because of the bad roads and everything. And she pulls up and goes, okay, let's go. And like the wheel wells of this 76 Monte Carlo or 74 Monte Carlo just packed with ice and snow. You couldn't even turn the wheels or anything. And then she goes, there weren't many cars on the road. I go, yeah, no kidding, So we get packed up and it's like 8:30. She goes, okay, we're not staying for the game. We're going. Your mom and I are leaving. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. So I go, okay. So we leave our house and drive for 4 hours. It's like 12:45, and we're all the way out to Cannonsburg, 19 miles from our house, because the weather conditions were so terrible because of the ice storm. And finally I go, so what are we going to drive another 4 hours and end up in Wheeling? That's it, on our first day? She goes, you're right. Let's get a hotel. So we got a hotel in Washington, PA, and watched the AFC Championship game at the hotel. But so the next day we leave and there's no more ice storm, so we got a whole day's worth of travel. So we take our time going across the country. I tell this story every day in the cab. 2 or 3 times people say, how'd you get here? And we're in that Monte Carlo. All 3 of us are smoking our ass off. The car's like a steel mill. It's just filled with cigarette smoke. That's all we're doing. Constantly smoking the whole way. And my mom didn't drive and Roseanne didn't drive at all. So I did the whole thing. We'd do 8 or 9 hours and then get a motel somewhere. So I had this plan. I go, okay, well, let's take Interstate 10 all the way down to Shreveport, Louisiana, because I know this chick there that I met. And I want to say hello to her if we're driving across the country. And they go, what? I go, yeah, I mean, if we're going there, I'm going to call her. You guys go have lunch, and I'll go say hello to her. And they go, okay. I didn't tell them that she was married, but we weren't having sex anyways, but I just met her. So we said hello, go down there to Shreveport, see her, and then continue on. And so now we're in Texas, and Interstate 10 across Texas is ridiculous. It's nothing but brown and flat and nothing. And it's forever. It says, the sign says, as soon as you enter Texas, the sign says El Paso, you'll never fucking make it, And so it took us 3 days or so to get across Texas. And once you got across Texas, it goes, boom, you're in California. Boom, boom, boom. We're there, So boom, we're here. So we get to the mobile home. My Uncle Bud lives there, and that's their brother, and they're all happy and everything. And we go to bed the first night. So the next night, I want to go out, And so I had a little bit of money. And so I go out, make a right-hand turn onto Highway 111 off of Frank Sinatra, the street we lived on. And I come to a bar real quick. It's on the corner of Day Palm and 111, and it's called Daddy Warbucks, but it looked like a really cool building, I said, oh, man. So I go in, and it is dark, man. And I get a Southern Comfort on the rocks, and I'm sitting there sipping this thing and looking around to see if there's any chicks or anything. And I'm looking as my eyes adjust to the dark, and I see, and I go, holy shit, those two guys are dancing together, slow dancing, And I'm like, oh, man, are you kidding me? So I asked the bartender, I go, man, is this a gay bar? He goes, yes, it is. I go, holy cow, man. I am in the wrong bar. So, he just chuckles, and he goes, obviously. So I pay him, get in the car, drive a couple blocks, and there's some more bars. So I get out, park, and I'm walking up to this bar, and the doorman's standing there with a shaved head and dangly earrings coming out of one ear, no shirt on, and a mink stole. And I go, oh, man, is this a gay bar? He goes, it sure is. And I go, are all the bars gay here? He goes, yeah, man, it's a gay time, And I go, holy cow. So I go home, and we get up for breakfast, and I go, I can't believe you guys didn't mention this, that we're going to drive 3,500 miles, and our destination is a gay town. I might have said no, that I don't care how deep the snow is, but they said, well, we didn't know, So I'm like, okay. So the next night I go out and I go left, and I ended up going into this country western bar. And the guy tells me, I'm telling him, I go, man, I got to, all the bars were gay that I went to. He goes, oh, no, this is good here, man. So I had a couple drinks, and then I went home, and then the next day, so now I'm broke. So maybe it's 3 or 4 days, So I spent my $300 pretty damn quick. So I sat around with them for a couple days, and I said, I probably should have said something in Pittsburgh, but all our vacations, my whole life, I'm 26 now, been 2 weeks at the most, so I didn't think anything, that I even had to ask anything. But how long are we staying in Rancho Mirage, And your mom, Aunt Roseanne, goes, 3 months. I go, holy shit, are you kidding me? 3 months? I go, I got to get a job. So I started looking for a job, and I figured I could valet park, like in Pittsburgh, when you valet park, you don't even get paid. All you do is get tips. I go, that's perfect, So I'm telling this guy that owns this country western bar that, yeah, I'm going to look for a valet parking job. I think I'd probably get one of them. He goes, oh, no, you don't want a valet park around here. They pay you minimum wage, and then they keep all the tips, so you get screwed. I go, oh, man. And he goes, but you know what? I like the way you drink, man. And the only reason I was drinking that way is because I was broke. You know, I could nurse 2 drinks for 4 hours at this place, you know, because I need a daytime bartender. I said, man, I don't know how to bartend. I can pour you a shot of whiskey and give you a Budweiser, but other than that, he goes, I'll teach you. Come in tomorrow morning. So I go in the morning, and there's this girl behind the bar, and he goes, Bill, this is Susie. Susie, this is Bill. Susie, get the hell out of there. You're fired. Bill, get back there. I go, nice meeting you, Susie. So I'm the daytime bartender at this place called the Borderline Saloon in Rancho Mirage. And that guy paid me good, and I was making good money. I was meeting chicks, getting laid, you know, everything was fantastic, you know. I wasn't getting laid in Pittsburgh, and I didn't have a job, you know. So, I mean, this is a big difference. Oh, yeah, and it's not 20 below zero, and there's not 4 feet of snow on the ground. So when it was time to go home, I said, you know what? I'm not going home. I'm going to stay here. This place is heaven, man. And we're going to have to fly somebody out to drive you back. So Ruth Ann flew out and drove them back. But I'll tell you, that week in the car with Roseanne and Ruth was absolutely one of the best weeks of my life. So that's how I got here, and that's how I ended up staying here. I'll have another couple stories later.